Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is the aftermath. Well, that's it. Premier League season is over, done, dusted, and Arsenal have finished in our traditional fourth place. Fourth place in a season that had so much hope at one stage. I think we were top of the table, they said, for 128 days, or was it 130? I can't remember now. But we were at the top of the table for a very, very long time. And you know what? I don't know what to think of the season. I'm disappointed in one aspect because it was looking so good. Going up to Christmas, it was looking so good. And then we just went and got all those injuries. Injuries to players that are too important to be missing for a long period of time. Theo Walcott, our top goal scorer last season, leader of assists, out for the season. Massive blow. Aaron Ramsey, he got injured in December, didn't return until about a month ago. Massive loss. He could probably have been the player of the season if he had stayed fit. He was absolutely on fire. And when you miss players like, of that ilk, Jack Wilshere out for ages, only just returning. Oxlade-Chamberlain got injured on the first game of the season. We didn't see him again until Christmas time or just after Christmas time, and then now he's injured again. It's just a catalogue of injuries. Podolski at the start of the season got a hamstring, was out from the start of the season till just before Christmas. Too many vital players missing for the Arsenal, and there's not many squads that can sustain that. And in the end, the team that had the biggest and the best squad, which was Manchester City, they prevailed and they went on to win the title. And you know what? Considering all the injuries, we've probably done pretty well to even get into the top four. And I suppose I have to look on it and say it's not a bad season. If we can win the FA Cup, this will actually turn out to be a very good season. And if you know what, I was thinking back about the start of the season. Not even just the first game that we lost at Aston Villa and everybody completely wrote us off. Even before that game, I was looking back at it, and there was people predicting, many experts predicting that Arsenal would not get into the top four this season. They said that Tottenham would finish above us because they bought in all those players and what they'd done with the Gareth Bale money. So loads of them were convinced that Tottenham would finish above us. Everybody predicted that Manchester United would finish above us. And you know what? They didn't. And we've got into the top four. So it hasn't been that bad a season in the Premier League. The thing that really made it bad was those losses. That loss away to Liverpool, 5-1, that was bad. The 6-0 humiliation on Arsene Wenger's 1,000th game at Chelsea. That was absolutely horrible. That bad defeat at Stoke, and the 6-3 at Manchester City, that wasn't as bad because we had just come straight after that game that we played in Europe. And, even though we lost 6-3, it was closer than 6-3. But those other two humiliations really dented Arsenal's pride and, really hurt the fans badly and will be remembered for a long time. And, those were very hurtful, but we recovered well after then. So let's see who you guys thought was the player of the season and what you guys thought about the season. You've heard from what I got to say. Let's see what you guys had to say. These are the tweets that came in. Harry Pless says, Ramsey, player of the season, hands down, he says. And he says it was a season of missed opportunity, but bring on the FA Cup final. Nazu Poku says, Per Mertesacker for him was the player of the season. He said he's been a leader and an integral member of the team. He said he scored our most important goal of the season as well against Wigan. Inside Thierry says, Koscielny has been so consistent all season and he deserved to be in the team of the year. He definitely should have been in team of the year. Laura Koscielny's been absolutely, he's one of the most improved players, to come to Arsenal. And I think he's one of the best centre-halves right now in the world, Koscielny. And I'm not, overplaying that. He's brilliant. Koscielny Koscielny, easily my player of the season, says Clockend Ben. And he says Ramsey would have been if he wasn't injured. He said fourth and the FA Cup final win would be a successful season for him, but we need more next year. Sabrina99 Perdolski says there's been loads of ups and downs this season. Can't decide between Ramsey and BFG for my player of the season. And she said we need to bring the trophy home and we would have a decent season. Alex Batt says overall we've progressed, but there's still feelings of disappointment due to the injuries. And he said Mertesacker is his player of the season. Another one there for Mertesacker. Daniel Shadow 0305 says Ramsey is his player of the season. He said that goal he scored against Norwich sums up what kind of season he's been having right now. And he said squad depth and injuries cost us. I mean, let's not forget the issue of squad depth. Arsene Wenger as well. I think he made a fundamental mistake at the start of the season when he didn't sign a striker. He should have signed a striker. And we lacked goals this season, especially with Theo missing for a long time. Ramsey, he's come back, he started banging the goals in again. If we had that striker in there as well, what a season could we have had? Mohammed AJ says, I'm afraid to say it, but this season was the closest to the Premier League that we would get to win it. He said next season will be extremely hard to get even fourth place. And we're going to really have to strengthen in the summer. And I don't mean just strengthen with bodies. I mean top quality players. That's what Arsenal need. I mean, I've been reading today where Chelsea are about to bring in Diego Costa. You can see other teams are strengthening big time. We're going to have to do the same. Ryan Burst says, Olivier Giroud is my player of the season. He said for his consistent effort and work rate and for 50 league games this season. And, you know, listen, you've got to hand it to Giroud. He's played practically every game of this season. It's all fallen on his shoulders. He's had to shoulder the burden. We've got no other striker, really. I mean, Sanogo, as I keep saying every week, he's just a young kid who's come in. His first season's always going to be tough for him. And remember, another player who's practically been injured the whole season. He's only just come back recently. Bentner, to be honest, we all got to be glad that he's going. Now that the season's finished, that he can go, because he's just been, if I'm being honest, apart from a couple of goals he scored, he's been a complete waste of space at Arsenal this season. So we've been effectively one proper striker is what we've had this season. Even Theo, who can fill in there, he was injured. Then when he came back, was on a bit of form, then he was out for the rest of the year. One guy, Giroud, and he scored 20 odd goals this season. So we got to hand it to him. Andre Philippe says, if we win the FA Cup, then it's an improvement over the last what we've done over the last 9 years. He said, player of the season's got to go to Ramsey. What a turnaround in his career. Fazal Khan says, last season Ramsey was awful and he never got injured. He said, now he got injured at the wrong time. He said, we need to sign new medical staff next season, he says. The Gunners' Way, Abu Dhabi says, the squad was capable of being top for 128 days. Let's take into account that after Ramsey got injured, Ozil got injured, the performance declined. Mohammed Amin says, there's some improvement, but in order to make it a good one, we need to win the FA Cup. He said player of the season should be Per Mertesacker for his consistency. Lucas Johansson says, Aaron Ramsey has been a star, but Mertesacker deserves the player of the season. So consistent and vital to the team. Riza says, Maestro Guna says, 7 points. Ramsey alone would have gotten us those 7 points. Remember, we missed out by 7 points. He said Ramsey alone would have got us those 7 points. Never mind Ozil, Walcott and Wilshere. That's a good point there. Kavi says 7 points off the top compared to 14 points off the top last season. Solid home results. Champions League place. No stadium debt. FA Cup final. He said that is progress. And the last one here goes to Flirt Zuka, who says, very interesting Premier League season. We all know injuries kept us away from the title. Player of the season is Ramsey. Injuries definitely had a massive effect. I wouldn't say that's the only thing. I would say that the team that's won it, Manchester City, in my opinion, we went to every game, home and away. In my opinion, I think they are the best team. They've got it. They've got strength all over. You know, their squad, when Aguero's out, they've got Dzeko's been able to come in. They've got that strength and drive in the middle of the park with Yaya Toure, world-class players all over. You've got to say they are the best team. Even if we had not had those injuries, it would have been very close, I think, between us and them. The other two, Liverpool and Chelsea, you've got to say they bottled it. They were in good positions and they bottled it. We bottled it a little bit, but I think we've got more mitigating circumstances with our injuries. But if we can get that right next year, who knows what we can do in the league. We're definitely improving. Definitely. Apart from those humiliated, that 6-0, I can't get out of my head. Listen, it's not all doom and gloom. We still got the FA Cup, and I'm luckily here to... I'm holding on to this tight. Even some dodgy people around in this place who might try and nick this off of me, so I'm going to put it back in my pocket. But it's my FA Cup ticket. Looking forward to that. That's going to be such a great day. If we can bring that home. If we can bring home the FA Cup, break that cup voodoo or hoodoo or whatever you want to call it, it'll be awesome. And don't forget to check us out. We're going to be down there on Saturday all day. We'll be down there. We'll be filming. We're going to film so much material. So make sure if you see us down there, come up to us. Give us your predictions. Tell us how you think the cup's going to go. And after the cup final, we'll be there on Wembley Way. We'll try and film as many fans as possible and get your reactions. Let's hope it's going to be all good reactions. Look out, we're going to have a review show that's going to be coming out next week, a review of the season. We've got another show that's going to be coming out where you can vote for your best video of the season. And there's been some brilliant videos throughout the season. And it's just, listen, you know what? I've enjoyed this season. I've enjoyed going home and away. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's just been brilliant. Don't forget to get our app. If you haven't got our app already, check out our brand new app. It's available on all different platforms. You can go to our match predictor right now and predict the score for the FA Cup final. The winner, the person who gets that right, predicts the right score, and players who scores the goals will win themselves one of these t-shirts, which are available in our shop. And you know what? I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to the FA Cup final. It's so great that everybody else, more or less, has finished their season and we've still got something to play for. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And listen, it could end up being an absolutely wonderful season. Robbie here on The Aftermath. It's going to be a good day on Saturday.